not even had my breakfast yet. I got up a bit later because I went to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning because I was watching a lot of stuff, all different stuff. I feel like starting to buy, I need to get some scones in. I'll start making them, you know, scones with cream and jam and tea, you know, British. Proud to be British, which I'm going to talk about. Yesterday, I said if I'd got things wrong or maybe reported slightly off, then I would redo it. Oh, I'd just like to say the Brexit, when we voted for Brexit, you know, the deal. I'd like to say the water's still on the table. It isn't going anywhere, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. And yesterday I did some videos saying about the marches. I didn't actually realise, but then again, I did realise just today, because someone did send a link that I didn't realise there were the anti-Brexit marches down there. So there were the pro-Brexit marches and the anti-marches, which is just quite, you know, that they were both down there. And it doesn't really matter who was the biggest or the smallest, because if anti were the biggest, well, it's just whatever, because I'll talk about that in a minute, because obviously that is all what I was trying to say yesterday about mainstream media. That is what they decided to put up anyway. They didn't really mention pro-Brexit that much. They were just like a snippet. It was more about putting the narrative out there, or making them feel better about themselves anyway, about anti-Brexit, because that's what they want Britain, UK, to see on TV as if that's what it should be, and that's what the population voted for, when actually the people of the UK have already spoken. The people of Britain have already spoken. They already did a vote to be in Brexit and to be out of the EU. So we know all the story behind it. People are trying to do, you know, re-voting and that. Why should we have to do it? We, the people, have spoken. And the thing is, at the end of the day, they can do all the marches they want. They can think that they're doing something. They can think that it's going to get changed. Because believe me, is that the right way? Believe you, me, whatever, which way round. We will. We don't need another vote, and we will be out of the EU. Just watch. We will be out of the EU. Doesn't matter how many marches they do. And I realised that they said Antifa would be down there. I've just realised who Antifa were. Antifa are anti-Brexit, obviously. And it was really good, because some channels that I want you to go and look at are the Tommy Robinson News, Free Tommy Robinson, just because they put on their channel, they put up a pro-Brexit versus an anti-Brexit debate. So it was quite interesting to see pro and anti having a bit of a debate, but you can tell who won in that debate, because it was definitely pro, and the guy halfway through just said it's spot on. These middle class people, because really when Red Pill Phil, go and check his channel out. He did loads of live. I don't think they were they live? He's done videos. He's put them up, and that was he went down to London, because he's from up north where I'm from. He's put his videos on his channel now from yesterday, and he went towards the anti-Brexit crowd, which is really funny, because most of them are middle class. They're not working class, they're middle class. So, you know, they're not really bothered about the working class. I don't even think they like us that much. With the little berries on and, you know, all the little posh ones. And he actually goes into the crowd and talks to this young lad who went to university and was talking about, you know, well, you just need to go and see it, because it was just like, oh my God, these people. He even says these people. And they tried to throw the racist card in there as well, like they do. Which, funny enough, the lad who was talking was white and Red Pill Phil's black. It's just pathetic. And he wants out. It's just pathetic. But it was just just looking at this young lad talking is just like, oh my God, this is the generation of those young ones that go to university and get brainwashed. But I suggest you just go and watch Tommy Robinson News, Free Tommy Robinson. That's the one with the debate anti and pro. Then there's Red Pill Phil. He's got quite a few different videos from different bits of the day, which is good. It's good to see, all. Then there is Eddie is okay, and his channel is all together. Eddie, Eddie is okay, but together. I'm going to write this down after this stream anyway. He's great. He did some speeches on lots of the marches from Tommy Robinson and the Three Boys. If you don't know that story, if you go and check his channel out, you'll probably find out about it if you don't know about it. And one of his speeches a few weeks ago did actually bring tears to my eyes, because he's just a normal working class man. He's great, and he just says it as it is, and it's just, words from We the People. And he's great, and he's set up a channel, and he's got a new intro out, and I really loved it because the intro has got, I loved Michael Jackson anyway. Michael Jackson's music on his intro is Smooth Criminal. It's really good. Then there's also, I've just been watching these this morning, so I've not had my breakfast yet because I got up late because I went to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. Is Brit Girl, and I believe the speech she did yesterday on her channel, Brit Girl, was her first quite large speech, and it was really good, and she did really well. She was basically saying, this is England, this is Britain, we are proud. She was saying about, because she's a mother like me, she wants her children to, grow up in the Britain that she once knew as a child, like I was saying the other day. We British welcome many different people from, different, sorry, I was just looking at something, different colours and races, but we welcome you if you come in here to interact. You're talking English. I'm sorry, that might sound off, but it is Britain. It is an English country. You need to be talking English or learning to talk English. People might be offended by that, but it is true. And you can be proud of being British too, but you've got to be doing it you've got to be abiding by British law as well. It is Britain. It's not another country, it is Britain. So we don't have a problem with that. But you will see what she said in her speech on her channel, Brit Girl, and it just makes sense. And I don't know why people would be offended by it. Other people go to other people's countries and they abide by the law. And if that country's of a non-speaking language of not English, then you'd go and learn that if you were going living there anyway. Hi MJ, how are you? I'm having coffee. It should really be tea. I need to be really British and have tea. And scones or scones, can't remember which one I say. There's a debate with that in different areas. Scones or scones. I can't remember what I say. Good. With jam and cream on them, because that's very British. I'm just really riling from watching the videos yesterday, because the BBC media, whatever, they did report on it, and I guess I said yesterday, I didn't actually know there was a massive anti-Brexit march. I thought it was just pro and some other things going on, but they decided to just obviously really focus on the anti, because they want to put that out to the nation that is definitely what we want when it isn't what we want. But I also say, and I'm saying MJ because you'll know what I'm talking about, the water's still on the table with the Brexit, being out of the EU. The deal's still there. So I can't put this water down. It's staying on the table, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But it was funny because quite a lot of the videos I've seen with pro-Brexit going talking to anti-Brexit, they are middle-class people. They are not working-class people. They are not people that probably have that many struggles or really see what's going on, with the kids and stuff that I've been talking about and other people have been talking about. They haven't got a clue. And they were just shouting racist out and all this, like, we know that's what they do. So I see, which is Antifa are anti anyway, that large group marching for anti-Brexit are Antifa, clearly, are Antifa. But if you're anyone from the channels that I watch, and I know MJ is I'm sure Q said there'll be many protests that are being put out there to make it look like the opposite. So that was definitely one of them, to portray on the media that that's what we're all wanting, when we know it's not. And the thing is, I don't care what anyone says, it isn't going to happen. We are going to be out of the EU because I believe a little bird has whispered in someone's ear. And this little bird is coming over soon to whisper in someone else's ear. And those whispers have gone around the EU, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking a bit cryptic now. We know there's a movie playing out and they've got to portray something to the masses that sit behind mainstream media. Exactly, we already voted on it. It was a done deal, but they're trying to kick it down the road and trying to do a referendum because, yeah, exactly, Barry. We've spoke up what we want and they don't like it because it's not the right answer for them, because obviously they don't want it. We know why. Barry and MJ, we know why. A lot of other people know why, even if they're not a wide awake as us in the wide awake club. But because we've voted that and it's not going with what they want to try and say that, oh, no, it's not 3 out of 2 or whatever you call it. It's not, I've just rolled, we've got a roll of 6 to win. We've rolled that 6 and they've gone, oh, no. We need to do it again because, no, we need to do, you know what I mean? It's we voted, we will be out, and the movements around the globe are showing us that, and that's what we're doing. It may prove democracy odd. Yeah, the world is waiting on a decision, but we actually know the decision was already made, and we actually know how it's going to go. But there's some things got to be played out because it is a little bit. If you're following QAnon, we know it's a bit of a movie playing out to play out to the masses that are asleep and make them think that they're winning when we know we're winning. Because it wouldn't all be kicking off in the EU at the minute. You can't ignore working class people. We the people have spoken out, not just here in the EU as well. So like I've said before, we can still be friends with our neighbours next to us, and we can still trade and stuff. We just don't want to be under one law. And at the end of the day, we weren't in it before and we were doing fine. So, do you know what I mean? But it's like Brit Girl said, if you go and check her video, check the videos out. I've said it. It's Tommy Robinson News, free. I'm going to write them down after, free Tommy Robinson. And there's a pro and Brexit debate on there, which was good. Eddie is okay altogether. Brit Girl and Red Pill Phil. And on Red Pill Phil, what was very interesting was the anti-Brexit march. They're all there in the little berries. Now, if anyone knows of Janaea, I think it's Janaea, the reporter who reports on lots of different stuff. She's lovely as well. She wore a T-shirt saying, with like the EU flag saying out on it. And she walked through where the march was, where they were all anti-Brexit, and she was getting some dirty looks. And you wouldn't believe some of the dirty looks she was getting off didn't look actually British to me. But she walked through, and there was this, you'll see it on one of Red Pill Phil's videos. They walk through, and they come to like a little stage where this woman's singing, but she's anti-Brexit, so she's singing a song about anti-Brexit. So they go up and speak to her. Oh, she was so rude. Did you see it? She went up and spoke to her, but what made me laugh was the girl who was going to go and talk to her, she chickened out and went to her friend, so her friend came over and did it for her, and she just didn't say anything, because mostly when someone goes up from pro-Brexit, they don't know what to say when they're actually told the truth. So she came up to her, she was saying some rude, disgusting things, and then a woman just came out of nowhere, I don't know if you noticed, with a yellow top on, and she actually wasn't, I'm not saying she's not British now, but she wasn't English, hello, and she just jumped in front and went, the English people have spoken, there was a debate, there was a vote, they wanted out, they will be out, you're stupid, and she went mad, and then she ran off, and it was like, she wasn't even with them. She just popped up from nowhere and jumped in. But guess what was shouted out again? The Zionist thing again. It was like... But if you actually go and look, they don't listen. They are Antifa. I don't care what anyone says. They're anti, so they're Antifa. But they just don't get it. And then there was another girl on, I think it was a Tommy Robinson debate on anti-Brexit and pro-Brexit, and she was giving it all, but she wasn't even British. So how can she talk about Brexit when she wasn't even British? She wasn't even English, I should say. Hi. You know, and that's a problem. Some people, some people don't understand what Brit Girl was saying is, and I've said this before, I know I'll keep saying it, and if people get offended, then, do you know what? You need to stop wrapping yourself up in cotton wool. Because we're talking about Britain, if you come to Britain from another country, you abide by British law. You come in, you wanting to come to Britain because you want to, you want to integrate, you want to, if you're not very good at English, you want to learn it because it is Britain. It's an English country. People get offended by that, but it is an English country. It might not seem like it at the minute, but it is an English country. So you want to come and do that. When you want to come and bring your skills and stuff for a job, and you need to abide by British law. There's no problem with that. British people have always welcomed other people, to come to our country from different colours and races to come and be a British citizen. But if you come in to try and take away British values and British traditions, because I think on the Brit Girl channel, the guy who gets up on stage after he talks about that, so I think you can go and listen to that video. I haven't watched it yet, but how dare the government push for I don't know what the right word is, the infiltration or whatever the word is, for people to come here that have no good intentions for this country. They want to bring down the culture and the traditions of the British people. Their traditions, my traditions and my culture, to bring it down and tear it apart and basically demolish Britain. How dare you, you a-holes of sellouts. You are sellouts. You are not the people of Britain. Not the people of Britain, despite what, race or colour you are not the British people. They are sellouts to this country and sellouts to a lot of other countries around the globe that are selling their countries out. How dare you? But you aren't bothered because all you're bothered about is money and oil and all that sort of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. You're not bothered about us, the working class people, because all we are to you are cattle. Do you know what I mean? They're not bothered. You want to take all our money off us with taxes and this, that and the other. You just want to sit there not really doing much, while we, the working people, work our asses off, while you just sit there collecting all your money, collecting all your oil and all that, destroying other people's countries in other countries, putting people in their countries that are not from their countries, destroying their traditions and values and beliefs. It's disgusting. And some people go along with that because they're not bothered about other people's traditions and values and beliefs and whatever, because all they're bothered about is money and greed. They're not bothered that people are getting killed. They're not bothered that people are losing their homes or the farmland or whatever it is going on around the globe. They don't give a plop, basically. It infuriates me that these people on these videos, especially if you go and watch, and I'm not talking about Tommy Robinson, this is just the title of this, if you're not into all that. But Tommy Robinson News, it might be on other channels, #FreeTommy, that's the name of the channel. But there is a video called The Brexit March London, Pro-Brexit and Anti-Brexit Debate. So you can go and watch that. That's just about, that bit isn't about Tommy, it's just about pro-Brexit, pro and anti. When they're having this discussion, it's working class people trying to tell the middle class people, because they're thick and they're not bothered. They're not bothered. They're not bothered with their little cushy lives. They're not bothered about, it's us who voted, it's the people, the real people of Britain who can see what's going on. They're just like, probably sat at home with the martinis, you know, and the little dogs, and the kids that went to university watching, guess what they'll be watching? Mainstream media. They'll be watching the news on the BBC and getting brainwashed by that. That's what they're doing. And then there was a guy there, it was really funny, he was swearing and everything. This guy's going, oh, stop swearing. He's swearing because he's passionate. That's why I get mad on here. He's swearing because he's a true patriot of Britain and he's passionate about what he's saying, and all you're harping on about is a load of stuff. You're not looking at the statistics. You're not looking at the fact that the people voted and it's still getting kicked around. The people voted. You know, if they're saying, oh yeah, you vote, and then how your vote goes is what happens, but it didn't, did it? Because, oh no, because we didn't vote anti, because that's what they really wanted. They thought, a bit like Hillary Clinton, who, the woman who never thought she was going to lose with all the rigged elections. And has anyone actually seen the video on where all the little sheep that followed her are crying when she lost? It's hilarious. And another channel to go on, which is really funny. Oh yeah, Rick definitely is. Is it Solent Greenies, his people? It's so funny. I'll have to try and link that. But, do you know what I mean? We voted. And they're just not having it because, like I said, Hillary Clinton never thought she'd lose. I think they really thought that the majority would be anti, and then they were shocked, and now they don't like it. Yeah, how cheeky are they to try and turn it over? That's what they're trying to do. And these middle class people stood there going, oh yes, but la 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 la, and all this, that, and the other, because the toffs. But what are you saying? There was a vote and you're trying to overturn it because it doesn't fit you, because you're not really bothered anyway. They don't know what's going on in the streets because they live in posher areas. They're not bothered. They don't do enough. The police are useless. Ambulance service are amazing. But the amount of people left on the streets suffering... Exactly. It's just stupid. Like I said, they're trying to do Agenda 21. They're trying to do the New World Order. So we're all under one flag. Well, we don't want to be under one flag. I said to someone yesterday, I was up late last night because I was watching. Like I said, I watch a lot of channels. I don't just sit and watch one narrative of someone or opinion. And I always look, if it's a live, like I'm doing live now, I always look what people are saying in chat and comments after. And it's normally the majority of the people that are saying something, not little trolls in the comments. I always look at what people are saying. Oh, what was that? I hashtagged QAnon in Titans TV. I was watching Titans last night because there's definitely a change and you can see people are not having it. I was hashtagging the plot out of hashtag QAnon everywhere yesterday. I was just hashtagging it. I just want people to go and have a look. Do you not know who QAnon is? Yeah, well, if you go on, there's a phenomenon, I can't even say the word, there's a phenomenon going about called QAnon. Some people believe it, yeah, where we go on, we go off. Some people don't. The people who don't are going off, they think it's a psyop thing, but at the end of the day, we who follow it know it's true because there's been a lot of evidence. When, I can't explain it properly, I will talk about some channels that are talking about it though. When, it's a bit like, what would I say? What did I say the other day? It's a bit like, we get these coded drops off, people say it's one person, but it's not, it's a group. And they're like highly intelligent, what's the right word? High up, highly intelligent group. And they have these Q drops, QAnon, that you can decode, and there's lots of channels on the internet decoding them, but be wary of who you follow because some are not doing it. Yeah, and there's a place called, is it 4chan? They drop it and people decode it and all that. But there's many different places that decode it. I'll say in a minute. But basically, it's like little codes, little breadcrumbs. Hang on a minute. And they get decoded. And we've learnt about 8chan, sorry. We've learnt about what's going on around the world. Is it 8chan, 4chan? It is crazy and it's a weird place, but the thing is, when you delve through all of it, I don't go on there obviously, and they pick the right ones out. When they're decoded and something is said to us, from last year by the way, it's coming out now, and things that they're saying, QAnon.pub for Q drops. Yeah, if you Google QAnon.pub, you will find all the Q drops. They're quite hard, for someone who doesn't know about it, if you went on, you'd just be like, what the hell is that? But then there's all these other channels decoding them. We the People 24/7 does it 24/7 around the clock. I go on there. It's an American channel, but it's great. But there is others. Deception Bites, X22 Report. Yeah, it leads you to all the elite stuff, but all the elite stuff, when you look at it, is connected all around the world, obviously, in every country. And it's to do with rigging and child trafficking and all this stuff that's going on. Yeah, SGT Report 2. People might not think it's real. Some of it's heartbreaking, but it is. But everything that's said, and if they say something's happening, Trump does it. Talked about North Korea. Trump sorted North Korea out, but he actually sorted it out last year, not just now. It's all playing out, you see. There's a plan. There's a plan. I can't explain it properly, but if you go on these channels and sort of try and make sense of it, you will find out. Also, if you Google Neon Revolt, I haven't looked this morning if there is one, he will break down the Q drops easier, because a lot of people, goes right over my head, some of them, and people who are just coming on to Q probably won't understand them. But if you look in the chat, people know what it is. Most people on my chat are following Q, or nearly following Q. And if you go on Neon Revolt, and then you go on the homepage and press home, you'll see all the drops all the breadcrumbs that he's tried to decode, and you'll be amazed. And it's helping the world see. And that is why it is scary, but we've got faith that we're getting help. This is what I'm saying. Everyone hates Trump on mainstream media. Why do they hate him? He's helping. Everything he says he's doing, they always say he's doing the opposite, because that's what mainstream media do. Like all this splitting the kids up from the families at the borders. He's not doing that. He's putting it in place to keep them together, because it's Obama and Hillary that did that. It's Obama that was separating the kids. There's a lot to be saying about Bush, Obama and the Clintons. Make Britain great again. Make America great again. Make Iran great again. Make all the other countries great again that have been taken down by a regime. It's about the elites, the regime, the government, whoever they are, the Rothschilds, the Soros. It's like I said on here, you get a Q map and you're just like, what the hell? Like, what? Look, the main thing down here, where is it? Look. I know it's back to front. You know, Soros has been going round to all the EU, chucking all these billions everywhere to try and keep us in the EU. That's what he's doing, because he's got loads of money. There's loads of stories out there. If you go on, We the People 24/7 is an American channel, and obviously they're talking about their country first, but we know that if they fall, we all fall. That's the last biggest West, you know, what everyone looks to, the West. They're trying to take down the Western countries and values. That's what it's all about. Depopulation, Agenda 21, that's what it's all about. Yeah, that's what I mean. If you know, if you know about this, then you know how mainstream media works. So, like, you can really see what's going on about everywhere else, because mainstream media are trying to pull the blinkers over your eyes so you think something's going on. What they normally put out is the complete opposite. If they say, oh, these marches, look, anti-Brexit, we're winning. No, we're not. Pro-Brexit is winning, because you only have to look at what's happening in the EU right now. Yeah, Savile, but at the end of the day, what programme was he on? The BBC Live. People sit in front of the TV thinking that everything projected on the TV, the BBC, all mainstream media is true, and it's not. It did come out on there in the end, obviously. But if people weren't... There were people that are awake to it who work there, but they were told to shut up. There's a lot of corruptness going on. That's why a lot of people don't know what's going on today, because there's a lot of corruptness going on. People are being paid off or shut up. So, but now it's out there, and it's not just out there to Britain, it's out there to the globe. People are seeing what's happening now, and you know what to look for, blah, 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 and all that. We on chat know, most of us on the chat know. Well, it's not time for the awakening. The awakening is happened. It's been happening. It's still happening now, because we are trying to wake up the people who are sort of either asleep or they've got one eye open. And they're like, I said the other day, there's some people like on these channels that I've just suggested that are awake, but they're not awake to everything. But they're on the right track. And the more they go on with that, they'll probably find other things. Yeah, the elite paedophile rings, well, that's what they're going after, because that's massive and it's global, and no, everyone should not pay the TV licence. I just got my thing through to pay for it, and so I don't watch telly. The paedophile ring is one of the biggest things, because, and this is what one of the biggest things boils down to, because it's global and it's going on everywhere, and that's what Q is showing, and that's what Trump's going for. The poisoning in Salisbury, well, what were they shouting out? Russia, Russia, Russia. That's a load of rubbish. Where was the car found that he was in? Was on the, is it CMEX site? You want to go and Google that and find out about that? It's all rubbish. It's all a distraction. If it was on mainstream media, it's a load of rubbish. If they're saying it's Russia, it's a load of rubbish. I did a video on that the other day. Mainstream media don't put the truth out there, so you're looking in the wrong place if you're looking at mainstream media. That was all just to like get us looking at Russia, 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 and Hillary Clinton wanted to blame it on Russia. Basically, they wanted us to go. They wanted us to go. It was to set off to try and blame another country to set us off in World War III. Basically, that's what they wanted to do. Putin's done things, but Putin isn't as bad as what Hillary's making out. Yeah, false flag, the Great British Farce. Exactly, Dad. It's a Great British Farce. Trying to get us to all look at somebody else while other things are going on, and to set us off in oh yeah, even if they were set up or whatever it was, it's to get us looking in a different direction. It's to get us all hating, and then, oh yeah, Putin's better than May. Put it this way, Putin said something on the lines of, yeah, he is my dad, it's my dad. He got me onto Q at the beginning of this year. Goes on with the people 24/7. Putin said on the lines of, I don't know when it was, but he said ages ago, the UK people can't even look after their own children, let alone the UK. That says something, because all this thing is about massive paedophile rings globally. Kids. It's about kids, basically. I've said before, that's what I mean. Putin and Trump, they always put out on the news, if you think about it, don't matter if you don't believe it, but just think, Putin, you know, Russia, Russia, Russia. The Russians aren't deep state, they're just gangster nation run by gangsters. That's what I mean, but like people always shout Russia, 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 Trump, Trump, Trump. Why are they always shouting them two people out? They want what's best for their country. Trump wants what's best for America. Believe it or not, for those of you who don't think he does. But when you actually look at the stats that are out for the jobs that he's got, what's he got now in America? You lot are there. He's got jobs up for Black and Hispanics, the most that he's ever been. Obama never did that. He's got, yeah, we did the North Korea summit. That's one of the biggest things ever. Like, what is it? 65, 70 plus years. They've been fighting each other. Medical, is it medical? You know, what you call it, your pharma things over there, bringing money down for that, you know. He wants the new technologies out and medicine out that's been hidden, you know. There's absolutely loads, and people still think he's doing bad, but he's not, because it's mainstream media that always twist it and say it was his fault that this happened, you know, just with the separating the family thing, when it's not to do with that. He's putting policies in now to stop that. Who put them policies in? Trump didn't put them policies in. of when you come over the border, you must be separated from your children. Who put them policies in? Because it wasn't Trump. It wasn't Trump. He's trying to change that, but no, mainstream media have to say, oh, look what he's doing. He didn't do that. Under his watch, he did not do that. So mainstream media, carry on with yourself, because you're getting seen for what you really are. People can see right through it. I love going looking at CNN and all that, and you start watching the chat now, what people are putting in there. Yeah, shall we emigrate to America? Yeah, but then again, no, because we've got to stand for our country. And our country is great. It was great. I'm not even going to say it was, it is, and it will be again. That's what I mean. It's about changing the UK. We love America, and there are brothers and sisters across the pond. We love all the other countries alongside us that are wanting their own countries back. Everybody just wants to make their country great again, and everyone should have that's what it's all about. That's what it should be. The Vatican, well, put it this way, the Vatican are one of the biggest places that need looking at, because guess what, who's at the top of the map of corruptness? Where is it? This is on eBay, by the way. The Vatican. And they've been having a lot of problems lately with priests and different things. Well, we all know what, not going into that, but at the end of the day, every country wants their country to be great again, because there's been a regime of controllers over countries. And why did the Pope go to Antarctica? Well, they all seem to go to Antarctica, don't they? What's going on in Antarctica? But every country has the right to have their country great again, because for so many, years and years and years, they've been under a regime. I said the other day on Neon Revolt, you can go and see the picture, I don't know if it's on my phone, of Iran in the 70s, where people were free. They had different hairstyles. They looked like the West. They wore, the different fashions. Let me see if it's on my phone. It was just normal. And then the regime took over and that all went down. So people can't say Iran was like that before, because actually, no, it was more like the West, but a regime took over. Yeah, the priest should be locked up. Oh yeah, there's Busta Rhymes. I saw it on a video. Someone sent me to Busta Rhymes on Instagram. And he had a video up. He's doing a lot of red pilling. He had a video up of a priest, I believe was in France or somewhere. Rants of Ryan, American guy, Rants of Ryan channel. He's got it on his channel. You can see it. It's absolutely disgusting. There was a priest, I think in France or somewhere. And they're doing, not that I'd know because I'm not religious, but they're doing a baptism or a christening. It's not too late to change Britain. That's what I said. If people have that attitude, it won't change. Honestly, there's things in the pipeline. If you're not following Q, there's things in the pipeline. And he got this baby, and he was like grabbing it by the head like this and doing this. And the kid's screaming, because obviously you don't do that. The kid's terrified. And then because the kid's screaming, the parents don't realise at first, he slaps the kid around the face quite hard, and the kid is screaming and he's still holding his head and he wouldn't let go. And then the dad notices, pulls the child back, and he's still got his hands on the child, pulling his head, and the person next to him drags the priest away like, what the hell are you doing? And it's like he's gone demented or something. We all know the Satanist murdering, whatever. I'm not saying all priests, but there's people people go on about different religions. People go on about the Quran, oh, that's evil, and then they'll say, oh, well, what about, the church and all that? There's evil in a lot of parts. There's evil people out there in different, like when people go on about races and go, oh, the whites are white devils. No, we're not. In every race and culture, there's people that obviously don't know right from wrong and are just evil psychopaths. You get it in, it's not just one race is evil and one race is good. I mean, there are races that are probably, you could say, that are just, I don't know, but it's not everybody. Of course Britain can change again. Well, yeah, but there's not always people that are believing in that. A lot of people are brainwashed, but at the end of the day, people will come on, especially if because it's quite scary, and they'll be like, Britain can't change, we can't do nothing about it, it's overpopulated. No, we can do something. We are doing something about it. That's what people don't understand. Yes, satanic priests are just the tip of the iceberg, because this whole thing is the tip of the iceberg. If you can only see that, Like this map is just like that tip there. Well, it's all that. And it is pretty big, but at the end of the day, if we don't stand up and say something and start looking into stuff, it won't change. But at the end of the day, the people who are following the stuff I'm following know there are people helping, there's lots of people awake, and it's worldwide. So the people, working class people who are rising in the EU, all them countries know what's happening in the UK and America. America know, those of you who are awake, know what's happening in the UK and the EU. We all know. Why are the people of Iran, the people, not the posh ones, not the elites, the government, why are the people of Iran rising up to the regime? And it's out there. I'm not just saying that, the evidence is out there. Yeah, Red Pill Phil and Eddie is okay. Did you watch it? Brilliant. I suggest you go and watch Red Pill Phil, and it's together, Red Pill, one word, and then Phil. He did the Brexit videos from yesterday, brilliant. And Eddie is okay, all one word, is great. Well, people have a think about Alex Jones. I don't constantly watch him, but I do watch some of him because he is getting truth out there, and he has believe it or not, he has red-pilled people. So whatever, he's still red-pilling people, even if it makes you think, because that's what Q's all about. It's all about getting you to think, not following mainstream media, getting to think for yourself, be a free thinker, think for yourself and start researching. Don't just listen to me on here and think it's gospel. Go and research yourself. This is what they're saying to people. People sit there in front of the TV and believe every word that's spouted on the TV, and if you actually look, they're mainly saying the same thing on every channel. Yeah, critical thinking is primary. You need to go and research hashtag QAnon, start looking into QAnon. There are people that put out bad videos of Q and say he's not real, but that's up to them. Of what I've seen so far, of everything that's happening behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz, behind the scenes, there's lots of things happening you will not see on mainstream media because they won't put it out there. They don't want you to know that we're winning, basically, because then the people are rising. God forbid the whole globe, everybody rises, though we are doing, but yeah, I think therefore you're letting people dictate to you from the TV, telling you what's what when that isn't actually what's going on. You need to start looking around in your area where you live, seeing what's going on, hear what people are saying. Try and wake people up as well by just giving them little nudges in the right direction, because people are slowly starting to see stuff that's going on. But Dad, did you see the video on Red Pill Phil of the oh no, it wasn't the young lad who was 16 from anti-Brexit, the one who shouted racist out, and funny enough, Red Pill Phil's black, but that's what he said. And did you see it? I was just like, yeah, just pathetic. And who saw the video on Red Pill Phil when he went to the women I was just saying before, when he went up to the woman who was singing on stage? Oh, the young lad. He went to university, so that says it all. I'm not saying everybody went to university, but he went to university, so therefore he knows. He's only 16, but he knows of the world and what's going on apparently. But he's middle class, so that's what I mean. The truth hurts. I did say yesterday that a lot of people are going to be very hurt, when the truth hurts, because they're not going to want to believe that they were wrong. Especially these middle class people, they're not going to want to believe that if their vote went through, and I'm telling you now, it's not going to go through. If their vote got turned to what they want, anti-Brexit, I mean they'd be loving that. But if it, if it got turned to their vote, anti-Brexit, then they are going to see the fall of Britain drastically. And then what they're going to say then? Oh my God, we didn't know. No, you voted for it. You voted for it. But that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, because I keep saying the people of Britain, no matter what, colour or race you are, if you're British, you're British, have voted. End of. We voted. End of. They voted in Europe, end of. You're not going to keep chucking that dice down the road, which you're trying to do, but you're not going to keep doing it, trying to get it to turn for your vote. It's not happening. It's not happening. Yeah, well, that's what Q is. Q, question everything. That's what Q stands for, basically. Q stands for question everything. Don't believe, like, if your friends are saying something, because you can have friends that, obviously, my friends aren't awake at all. That's why I come on here. It's so hard to talk to people if your friends, because you'll just get into an argument, who are not awake. They say, oh, yeah, but they go and watch mainstream media. They sat in front of it all the time watching Britain's Got Talent and all that. I don't watch any of that anymore. I don't watch telly. Because you can just see the lies in everything, the programmes, the adverts. I said yesterday, someone commented today, the video I talked about the other day with the satanical signs in it that you don't see on Ariana Grande's video, I don't know which one it was, I talked about the other day, and they said they saw it, they didn't actually realise. And I tell you who else I think is quite a sad thing, and I've been watching some of his interviews, and I know some of them get caught up in it, but and I don't know if anyone knows of him, but I feel it's quite a loss because he was quite switched on and he was only young. Is it XX Tentacion? I can't say his name. The rapper, young lad, Triple X Tentacion. I can't say the name. Tentacion. He got killed. But before he got killed, he did say something about sacrifice if I get sacrificed. And he did mention Drake, the singer. And you know the stuff we all know, what's going on in the Eminem, what's going on with the music industry and how that works. Some people don't believe it, but you can see it out there. And then I was watching a lot of stuff on Jay-Z and Beyonce that people think are gods. Guess what? They're not. Yeah, or was he 20 years old? I watched some of his videos last night and some of his last interviews and when he went to prison and stuff like that, and I just thought, what a shame. He was so switched on. He might have got caught up in some stuff, but he was so switched on. They preyed on him because of his background and stuff that happened and his upbringing and stuff. Q stated that all the truth was revealed. If all the truth was revealed, it would be 99% of the population would end up in hospital. They would. Yeah, XX Anticion, was it? Anticion? I can't say the name. I'm glad you're a big fan of Q. And what Waxman just said there is true. 99% of the population would be put in hospital. And the reason is because when you find out what is actually just looking who's outside, what is actually going on today outside the Matrix, some people are going to have a brain hemorrhage or a breakdown, or you're going to have a breakdown. I told you a few months ago when I found out about it, I sort of wish my dad hadn't told me, but where to go? And I just cried for days. My mum came down. Yeah, because you're a nationalist, you're far right. I'm a humanist, or whatever the word is, freedom for humanity. Because it's not, we say we're on the right and people go on about left and right, but basically it's knowing right from wrong. But my mum came down and stayed for a few days, and I was just crying and sobbing and crying and crying, and she was like, what's the matter? You know, why has your dad sent you to this thing? Look at the state of you. And I was like, no, I'm glad, because I'd rather know than not know, even though it's awful, but I'd rather know. I know I can talk for England, but remember the kick-off is at 1. Well, you can always come back after. I probably won't watch it. I've got to go and do the garden. It's the grass needs cutting. But I don't even know what time it is. Yeah, you've got time yet. Don't worry. It's only 12:10. I hope we win. But yeah, a lot of people just you won't be able to get your head around it. I've had to cry, even be lunchtime, even be disgusted at myself, only as in some things I've done have contributed to these things. I don't mean knowingly, I just mean even things you buy, certain foods you buy, certain clothing you buy. No, I won't say what's outside. Could go and do an interview. Certain clothing, just certain things like Nike, Nike. Adidas, certain things. Not that I buy Nike and Adidas actually, because I don't wear labels. Labelled things and stuff like that. You wouldn't even think you've been contributing to stuff. Stuff you've been contributing, like, yeah, the TV license, stuff like Facebook, Instagram. There's little things in places where you've subscribed to something or bought something, and things on your phone and Amazon and stuff like that, that you don't even know that you're contributing to something. But you are. But it's not our fault because we don't know. If you knew what was going on, this is the thing, they've kept it from us, because if you knew what you were contributing to, you could, if you had the choice of contributing to it with knowing what it was and not contributing to it, most of us who have a soul wouldn't contribute to it. And that's how TV and Hollywood and places like that work. They put these films out there, they put these stars, highly paid stars out there, even in sports and stuff, and they're projecting something out to us that isn't even reachable or real. And what's going on behind those scenes of those people is really not what you think. It's a whole different ball game of things that you think happen in movies, maybe even in horror films, that you just wouldn't actually believe. And you can see a lot of it going on now, because there's a lot of them lot in Hollywood, Holly hell, the stuff that they're saying now and coming out with and going against the president, and people in the NFL kneeling when they should be standing. You can see it if you're looking in the right places. So if you don't know who QAnon is, you need to go and hashtag it. You need to go and research about it and hopefully find the right channels out there that are pumping it out. Programming is TV, exactly. That's why when the TV was invented in the late 1940s, 50s, whatever it was, yeah, they might have had, shows and that, but it crept in to be a programmer to, if you think about it, television. What's the word in the middle? They use words and symbols to trick us. Television, lie, television. It's a vision of lies. Hello. We'll televise it out to the masses, because isn't that a really good way to control the masses? What do? We all sit in front of the TV at the end of the night, and we all sit down to a good programme. And then the news is chucked in there and all the adverts. Think about it. Television will televise the lies out to the sheeple, the cattle, the sheep, the ones who follow the narrative of what they put out all the time. So even if you're thinking, oh God, what's she on now? It's just like, think about it. Q is there. This. Started with Brexit, now it's gone on to Q, but it's all connected to me. Q, I know it's back to front before anyone says anything. Q means question everything. Don't believe what visions are putting out to you by films, stars, the news and everything. I see Q people. Where we go one, we go all. And that means that's not just one country. That's why you'll see sometimes, you might see this now for the people who don't know. If you start looking around on different videos, you might see in the chat, you've got to look at the chat, people shouting, hashtag free Tommy, hashtag QAnon. You might see a Q come up in chat, because we know, and it's not just people in America or the UK, it's people all over the EU that are doing it. They know, people are starting to know who Q is. So if you see that in chat, you'll now know what that means. And when they put, where we go one, we go all, it's because, hi Sandy, the world is waking up, the different countries are waking up, we stand with each other. That's why when you see comments of people saying, like, in Iran or wherever, everyone's putting UK stand with you, or India stand with you, or with the UK, the people of them countries, not the government. Like when people saying, oh, those people in that country, they don't care. It's not necessarily the working class people, it's the government. The ones, the elites, the regime, the working class people know what's going on around them. We all know what's going on. The middle class people, obviously, I'm not saying all of them, can't really see what's going on because they've got blinkers on, choose to not look at it, or they're living in posh areas where these things aren't going on, so they don't see it. It's not their children that are getting abused and stuff, so they don't see it, so whatever. But if you actually start, I don't mean all middle class, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's not all middle class. Like, it's not all, a lot of people above who have money haven't, you know, might not want this. They've just been, some people have been blackmailed and stuff. But do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But it's all right if you're working class and you know, but there's a lot that don't know. Yeah, mentally ill or new agey. But they, the ones who are, it's just sat watching the narrative on the news. And at the end of the day, if you go in a lot of chats, that's what I mean. I nearly cried when I realised how we'd all been lied. Nearly cried. I was crying for about a month. I just couldn't believe, I've said this before, I couldn't believe I wake up and I just thought, after finding out, and I found out a lot more since, I've just woke up and thought, this world, yeah, well, just conspiracy theories laugh out loud. Well, it's funny how all the conspiracies you thought were conspiracies are actually real. And all the stuff you see on telly that they portray as truth is lies. Because the conspiracy word was made up by the CIA years ago. I wonder why. So anything that comes out, they say, is a conspiracy theory. And it's not. It's real. Yeah, the people of the world are coming together stronger than ever. This is what I mean. Most of you people in my chat know what's going on. So that's when I say, if you go on someone's chat, look at what people are saying. But I cried and cried and cried. And Dad, if you're listening, I was upset at one point that you'd showed me the light, but I am glad I know because it's best to know. But also, when people think people are, oh my God, they've gone off the head because people are talking about The Matrix, the film is real, the film is real, The Matrix. Well, it is, but we're talking about as in, that film says a lot because I'm in The Matrix now. When you're in the world outside, well, this one that we're lied to, you know, when you think things that the mainstream media are telling you is what's going on, that's the Matrix. So we're in the Matrix. But when you take a step back and you're red pilled and you actually find out the truth, you're out of the Matrix, and it's really scary because it's like, oh my God, like he says in the film, you've got a choice. And that's why I said be very, very careful if you want to get red pilled and go down that rabbit hole, because you might think you're red pilled a little bit when you actually really find out what's going on. It is massive, it's horrendous, and it is really heartbreaking. So you can either take the blue pill, you might find out and you want to turn your eyes to it. First you're born, then you die, and everything between has actually been a lie. Exactly. So if you take the blue pill, you can go back, wake up in the morning, go back to sleep, turn a blind eye and just forget about it and hope that things are going to be okay. Well, you won't know about it because you've took the blue pill, you've woken up in the morning, you don't know nothing. It's just back to normal. You didn't know nothing. You don't know of Q, you don't know nothing. You take the red pill, you're awoken to everything. Every single lie we've been told for years and years and years, way back, way back, decades. And you start seeing how they put it in systems in school, food, because I said I'll come back with a chat after about GMOs and different. We're gonna have a conspiracy theorist talk later. I don't know when. I'll let you know. Yeah, all religions were constructed man-made, and guess why? To divide people, to keep them arguing. I believe in, you don't have to be religious to believe in like a sort of, what do you call it? Energy force, where we come from, or people say that it's God, energy force of consciousness, because I do believe we came from that, and that's a totally different thing. You don't need to be reading a book constantly of whatever religion to know right from wrong, basically. To me, those books, I think, have been twisted and they have had context taken out of them. But to me, it was a book of rules years back to sort of how to live your life morally, kindly, with a loving heart, and it's all been twisted and people just go, ugh. It's like, but you know what's right from wrong, you feel it in your heart. I keep saying your thoughts in your head are totally different to what you feel in your heart. So when you go on TV, where do your thoughts come from of the way you think? It's not always from your heart. It's from the TV in the corner pumping out all these thoughts that make you think different, reprogramming you and brainwashing you. Do you not get what I'm saying? Thoughts. Where do your thoughts come from? It's people you talk to. Things that you see on telly. Religion was created to show the right from wrong, but abused along the course of time. Exactly. That's what I've always said. They've took context out of the Bible and different religious books and things. They've made New Age ones up as well to get you all like, I've even seen that now, and I was on the New Age thing. It's just to confuse everyone. It's to get, yeah, God is your own conscience. We're all one. We're all together. It's one, the Great Awakening, and people keep talking about the Great Awakening, one consciousness. We come from one consciousness, therefore we are one. We're all from one consciousness. That's why most of you on here know what I'm talking about, and we're connected. Everywhere's connected, and we are connecting, and that's what it's all about. I've tried to hashtag QAnon everywhere because I want people to try and go and research themselves. You will, like I said, you will come across people's videos that are slamming Q, that are slamming Trump and blah, 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 all the things that you find out about, because there's an agenda going on. They are the same as Antifa. They are the same as mainstream media. They are trying to bring it down because they don't want people believing it. Because what do they always say? Oh, the people that follow Q are conspiracy theorists. Yes, we are, but we actually know that it's true. If everything's twisted the wrong way around, they put out on TV, conspiracies are, just made up things, whatever they are. Well, we know it's different, and there's evidence out there. It's there. There are a lot of stuff out there that is quite confusing. A lot of people talking code about stuff. People get confused, and there are a lot of things out there, conspiracy theories, that are wrong, but it's all clickbait and different things. You have really got to sift through the right videos. Conspiracy analysts, yes. It's decoding and questioning. Like when you see certain things, even on these conspiracy alien things, like why are they saying that and what's this? Are they really talking about hidden technology? Because Trump brought that up, there is hidden technology. But I think what I'll do, I don't know, what time is it? It's nearly 12:30, so I think I might come on again about 3 or 4ish or something. I don't know. I might let you on. I'm gonna do a. Yeah. I've only been following Q since January, I think, when my dad introduced me to it, because I knew there was stuff going on, but I didn't know the extent. And then I found out, and it was like, oh, I hate the world I live in. We've been lied to. Everybody's been lied to. Like my dad said, oh, how wonderful history would be if it was actually true, but it's not, because we've been lied to about history. So. We don't really know. I was watching Titans TV the other day, and I was last night. That's why I stayed up to 2 o'clock in the morning. Loads of different things, because I like watching different things. I like to see what people are seeing in chat. And he was reading a book on easy meat, which was interesting. Yeah, I know what that's about. And he was going about some stuff, but then I went off his channel onto Zara's channel, if anyone knows him. I can't remember what it's like. Gabi, so I can't remember, sorry if anyone knows him, but I can't remember his channel. And he was doing a late night chat about different things, and he was talking about a bit like spirituality, and people talking about religion, because that's the main thing that's kicking off at the minute, because it is to divide. And I think he used to be Christian, but he's not. He's just spiritual, and he meditates and stuff like that. And he was saying, he believes everything is energy, and we are energy, and we are all energy. We are all one. Everything has energy in it. And he was talking about that. And I did hashtag QAnon on there. But people have the right ideas. But and I watch a lot of Speaker's Corner. And I'm going in a minute anyway. Speaker's Corner. And you can see what's going on down there. And it just amazes me. And I don't care what people say, because you can say it. You'll have the debates going on with the different religions. And people are saying stuff. And they've got a good debate, and then these people are not. They don't listen. They just carry on and on and on and on. And it's like, but you're not listening. And I think sometimes people of some certain faiths have a book that they are interpreting wrong, or they really, 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 really believe every word, and that's a problem as well. Oh, thank you. I hope so. I'm not doing it to the extent that some are doing it, and like my dad says, you need to get the names right and this, that, and the other, because there's that many people involved with certain, like on the Q drops, they have little initials of people. A lot of it's American, because but it's connected everywhere. So and there's that many things going on and that many people. I just can't. It doesn't all stay in my brain. But like I said, if you I'm gonna go now, but the videos that I've been watching on Brexit were, again, Tommy Robinson. Don't be put off if you whatever with Tommy Robinson. This is just, they had a good debate on. So it was Tommy Robinson News, hashtag free Tommy Robinson, and they had the title was called, that was called Brexit. The Brexit March, London, pro-Brexit versus anti-Brexit debate. It was interesting. And then there's Eddie is okay. You really need to go and check his channel out. Subscribe to all the channels. Eddie is okay, and that's Eddie is okay altogether in one word. And his intro is, you'll know because his new intro he's got up is Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson. Loved Michael Jackson. What a shame. Eddie's cool. When he did his speech a few weeks ago about the boys, the three boys, you know, our three boys, the boys that got run over, his speech brought tears to my eyes. I was nearly crying. He's just, you know, a normal working class guy. He's not used to doing speeches and stuff. He said he might do some interviews, even though that's not what he does. But he's standing up, you know, being proud, a proud British man. And this speech he gave just there on the spot was amazing. I just wanted to cry. I was just like, more people need to do that. He's brilliant. So he's set a channel up. Yeah, it's America first, then watch out, May, then can, then drain the swamp, basically. Work that one out. A little birdie's coming over soon to whisper in somebody's ear. And then we've got Brit Girl. She's great as well. And there's Janaea as well. There's Janaea's channel. Brit Girl, she just did her first speech ever, and that was good. And then there's our lovely up north, Red Pill Phil. There's Red Pill Phil, and that's Red Pill together, and then Phil. And there is also another Red Pill video channel, which is called Red Pill Phil Factory, Make Britain Great Again. That's a different channel. Oh, the swamps are being drained, believe me. The plug's out. It's going down. We've got the snowball effect, if you know what I'm talking about. It's picking up speed. There's legs and arms and people hanging out of it. All these elites hanging out. The regime's hanging out. Everything's hanging out everywhere. But like I said, don't believe what I'm saying. Go and research. Watch out for clickbait. Watch out for people, the people who are dissing Q, dissing other channels. Brit Girl for MP. There's a lot of people I'd put for MP. A lot of great patriots I would definitely put for MP. But what I'm trying to say is, Q stands for question everything. Some people say, oh, he's not real because he disappears sometimes, and he has disappeared at the minute, and then he comes back again. One time I think he'll disappear forever. He's trying to wake the people up around the world, and I shouldn't say he because it's a group. They're trying to wake people up, and they're trying to get you to use your brain again because we've been asleep for a long time, and question everything. When people say, oh, he's not real, this, that and the other, it's like, well, the things that he said have come true. The things back last year are coming true now for the good, for humanity. So if it's coming true, like, what's your argument? And people say he's bad. How can he be bad if he's waking up the globe to the lies that we've been told for people to see? He's not trying to cover the lies up. He's bringing truth out to the light, so for us all to see. Because once this truth is out in the light, which is, it's happening, everyone can see it. So mainstream media will be able to put out what they want. But the thing is, they're going to look pretty stupid because we all know. So when all this massive stuff comes out, which is just about to, how are they going to deny it? What are they going to say? What are they going to say? Because it's going to be funny to see. They're running around now doing all this stuff, like we all know, in the media, trying to pump this stuff out. Like they're filming on Brexit, but they're not really putting out, you know, it's one-sided story. They're really only talking about anti-Brexit. They're just saying there was a little group of pro-Brexits yesterday. And even if there was, they're not talking about it. They're not talking about it. They want to put out to you, it's anti-Brexit, that's what we want, when it isn't, we're pro. To me, it doesn't matter if Q is a plant, because at the end of the day, whatever it is, whoever it is, they're putting out truth to the world, and we're all learning to go out there. It's a good plant, if it's a plant, and research ourselves and actually find people on different platforms that are talking about truth, looking out your window outside, being out in the real world and actually finding out what is really going on and hearing people. So to me, it's an amazing thing. It's a great thing to be alive because some people thought this day would never come. I'm thinking about a dandelion. What's that mean, Dad? The clock, what, the clock? You're talking cryptic now, I'm like, what? That's why I go on Neon Revolt, because it's easy to read. It's good to get a good cup of tea, get your scone with cream and jam and go and read through it. Did you see the video of the man who works at Home Office? I don't know. I've seen a few videos. Oh, the dandelion. Yeah, I've seen a few videos. Red Pill Phil has got quite a lot of videos on girls talking up about, stuff that's happened. See, some people will go and watch videos before I go, and even they'll come to different Q channels, and when they start hearing the truth of what's been happening, especially all the stuff with kids, which is really awful, and all the other satanical things and yucky things that are going on, they'll choose to not, they don't want to know, or they won't sit and listen to people speaking about it because they don't want to hear it. But the thing is, if you don't want to hear it and know the truth, it's just like you want to back down and just sit down and sweep it under the carpet, which is what's been happening. It is awful, but you also need to know the truth. You will get angry, you will be upset, maybe some of you will have a breakdown. I had a breakdown, I did. And then I got over it, and then you get strong again. And it's not about going out there on protests being violent, it's about being civil. Like I said, Martin Luther King did civil protests. Yeah, people got hurt in it, people got killed in it, but they did civil protests because they wanted, when the media were filming, you could, not that I was there, but I'm saying, when the media were filming and putting stuff out, they would have, red pill videos, they'll make you cry. If you haven't got a heart, if it doesn't touch your soul, then you're obviously batting for the other team. But Martin Luther King, when they tried to do civil, my dad still doesn't sleep that well. I don't. You're just thinking about, that's like I said yesterday, it's not caring for just one nation, it's caring for all nations of, I could get upset now if I talked about it, kids and people. The stuff that's going on is heartbreaking, but I don't mean I'm over it, I just know what's going on, it's awful. But Martin Luther King did civil protest because when the media would have come, or printing out in the paper, whatever, they would have been taking the pictures of them, maybe the people that were fighting a little bit, but they shot water cannons at them and stuff. They did all this to try and antagonise them to fight. I know I am strong, I know about it, but sometimes when you're talking about it, but it's all right if you gotta go and watch for win. I'm going in a minute anyway. I'm going to come back later anyway. I'll let you know when I come back later. But the thing I'm trying to say is, before I go, this is the last thing I'm going to say, is they tried to antagonise Martin Luther King's, movement about, it was for humanity. He said, it's not, it's the content of your character, it's what inside that matters. It's not about the colour of your skin or your culture. It's about the content of character, you inside your soul, what your intentions are. They tried to antagonise that group, that movement, to get them fighting. So if they were fighting, they'd put that out to the world, like, oh, look at this group. Like Antifa antagonise us trying to get the truth out. They want us to, they're the ones that are violent. They're the ones that say they're sticking up for freedom of speech when they're not, because hate speech is freedom of speech. They antagonise. You can see loads of videos on Antifa over here in America. They antagonise the other group to try and get them to kick off. They wear masks, so that the cowards anyway, to try and kick them off. So if they kick off, as some of our groups have, because some of them are, you know the truth, and it'll, exactly, they kick off to make us kick off, so that when mainstream media get that picture of our side kicking off, oh, they don't say about Antifa, they say we were attacking them, look what thugs they are, all drunken louts, this, that and the other from working class. They put the crap out, basically. So when Martin Luther King kept doing his peaceful, civil protests, they didn't fight back. So a lot of people did get killed, they got hurt violently. But then the world woke up, because it was like, hang on a minute, you're doing all this stuff fighting against them. blasting really powerful water cannons at them. These people are not fighting back. They're not the aggressive, violent people you're saying they are. The world stood up and started listening, and things started changing. Then I believe the world goes through stages of goodness, and then the bad creeps in, and it will always be like that. This is what's happening now, and we will win. We are winning, and then in so many years, decades and decades and decades down the line, it will happen again, because there is always evil people that are corrupt and will creep back in, and we'll have to have another revolution around the world, more civil marches and all this to get rid of that regime again, because it will creep up. Because when it comes out, these people won't be able to walk around the streets without people knowing who they are and how horrible they are. They'll either, there's a lot of suicides going on in America right now, people getting arrested, loads of paedophiles getting arrested, all this stuff going on. Some people will just go and hide and, pretend they weren't part of it and live the days out, and then it will creep back up again, because that is how life goes. But at the end of the day, you really need to start listening to what I'm saying, believe it or not. Don't believe what I'm saying, just go and research yourself. That's all Q is asking everyone to do, is go and actually research. Stop sitting in front of your TV and believing everything that is said. Because if you actually go and watch the videos from the live marches of the pro-Brexit marches and listen to what those people are saying, and it doesn't touch your heart and you can't see what's going on, there's something wrong with you. If you're watching anti-Brexit, then you're going to have a problem. Depends who you're for at the end of the day. But then some people think in that group that they are marching for the right, but they're not realising that they're not, because, thanks Dad, because anti-Brexit is Antifa. Antifa are anti. They don't realise, some of them don't realise, they're going against, we are freedom of speech. No, you're not. You're going against hate speech. Hate speech is freedom of speech. And that's all I can say. It's fact. Anti-Brexit is Antifa. So when they said, because I thought, where is Antifa? Antifa are anti-Brexit. Fact. So I'm going now. I've got to go and cut my grass, so I'll be back later. Have a good day and start researching Q. Get on Neon Revolt as well. And We the People 24/7. Bye.